Alright, this is lesson 15, factor by grouping. So this is another method to factor your problems out. You always look at your GCF first, then you look at doing an Xbox if it's a perfect square trinomial. Yesterday we talked about special times when we're like, oh, we don't need to use Xbox because there's a special case. Because a special case is like a shortcut. Why do we use shortcuts? It's easier, right? Things go faster. What's that? Adjacent to one another, yeah. So we use shortcuts to make things go faster, but you have to recognize the shortcut in order to use a shortcut. Because if you don't know about the shortcut, then how could you use the shortcut, right? So, just like when you're walking home from school, you're like, if you don't know how to take the shortcut to get home, you'll just take the normal way to take home. But sometimes you know, like, you could just take a shortcut. Anyways, today we're going to talk about the next example, which is factor by grouping. Sometimes you could find common factors between people and regroup them, or between terms and regroup them. Just like if I were to take students up here, we could have common factors and regroup them. Let's see, let me see if I can find an example. Okay, let's have Ryan, Leon, Brianna, Benjamin. Come on down. Come on up to the front. Stand as randomly as possible. Okay. What's a common factor that you can recognize between two people up here? Raise your hand and give me an example of two people and the common factor of two other people. Raise your hand when you see a common factor. Or commonality. Just a common thing. Yeah, Carolina. Two girls and two boys. So, are they already together as two girls and two boys? Are they? Are they grouped together as two girls and two boys? Yes? Looks like it to me, right? They just naturally did that. So I don't have to rearrange it. What's another common factor you could use between them? Yep. Glasses. Okay, that's right. Leon and Ryan are wearing glasses. Benjamin and Brianna are not. So, let's regroup them. Did the set of students up here change? Now we've just rearranged them, right? Now we could use different factors, right? What's another common factor? Let's get one more. Yep. Take tops. Yep. They could be regrouped to that. Yep. Height. Yep. Good. So they can regroup to that. Or let's have the students wearing shorts grouped together and the students wearing pants grouped together. You see that? Okay, so that's what we're doing. Thank you. Let's give them a hand. They work so hard. Good job. Well done. I'm proud of you. Okay, anyways. So that's what we're looking for, but we're looking for common factors, and we use that in real life because sometimes you have to group things to have common factors because you might need to organize things. So this is a good, like, organizing skill. All right? Here are the steps. If you are on the lesson or online, pause it here. Okay, so watch me do numbers 1 and 2, and then we'll stop. So the first thing I always want to do when I'm looking at any of these is always the first question is GCF. Can I do a GCF out of all of them? 14, 12, 7, 6, they do not have a common GCF. 7 is that prime number that's kind of throwing everything off. So I cannot do anything with them. Next thing I want to do is find commonality between them. So I can't do Xbox because we have k to the third power, right? And there's no k at the end, so I couldn't factor anything out there. So we're going to try to factor by grouping. So in my mind, I'm thinking 14k cubed, right? 14k cubed. And 12k have a common factor of 2, right? But I also know that 14k cubed and 7k have a common factor of 7, which is greater than 2. 12k squared and 6 have a common factor of, you think even bigger, 6, right? Right? So I'd rather group 14 and 7 together and 12 and 6 together. So what I'm going to do is rewrite the problem with those together. So it's not going to be in descending order now. 14k cubed, and I'm going to bring that 7k next to it, plus 7k, and then we got plus 12k squared plus 6. Okay? Now the ones that have the common factor are together, so I'm going to group them using parentheses, like this. And I'm going to take that plus sign in the 12 and put it into parentheses. And then I'm going to add a plus sign in between here. Okay? So, what did I just do? I just grouped them. I didn't change anything. I didn't change the grouping. If I add parentheses, it doesn't do anything to the whole problem. Okay? So now I'm going to reflect back what in my 14k squared and 7k is common. The greatest common factor in here is the 7 and k, right? So 7k times k squared is equal to 14k, or I'm sorry, not just k squared, but 2k squared. 7k times 2k squared is equal to 14k cubed. 7k times positive 1 is equal to positive 7k, right? Then I'm going to bring that plus sign down that I added in there. Doesn't really change anything. Okay, we're asking ourselves again, what's the common factor that's in 12k squared and 6? It's positive 6. Okay, so 6 times 2k squared is equal to 12k squared plus 1. Okay, then I need to bring down, or then I ask myself, is there a common factor between these two terms? So if I look here, I have a common factor in both of them. I have a common factor of 2k squared plus 1. That's in both of these terms. Do you see that? Okay. Since that's the case, I'm going to factor out 2k squared plus 1 out in the front, and then I'm going to bring down the terms that are in front, which is 7k. So we have 7k plus 6. And that's it. We're done. We just factored by grouping. Okay? Now that's a little confusing. But you think about 2k squared times what is equal to this first term times 7k. 2k squared times what equals the second term? 6. Bring that down. Easier way to think about it is just bring this down, and you're done. Does that make sense? So that's how you do number 1. Number 2, I'll do it one more time. Okay, number 2. Same thing, I'm asking myself common factors. I know 24 and 21 have a common factor of 3. 64 and 56 have a common factor of 8. Okay? But 24 and 64 have a common factor of 8 also. And 21 and negative 56 have a common factor of 7, which is bigger than the original 2. So I want to bring those out. Okay, so I'm going to regroup these. So we have 24x cubed minus 64x plus 21x squared minus 56. I'm going to regroup these, or put parentheses around my groupings. And I'm going to put a plus sign in the middle here because I need that there. Okay? In the first one, I said that the common factor was 8x, right? 8x times 3x squared is equal to 24x cubed. 8x times negative 8 is equal to negative 24. Then we have in the second term, what can I factor out? I could factor out a 7, a positive 7. So 7 times 3x squared, and then 7 times negative 8 is negative 56. I know it's working because what are you noticing again? I have 2 of the common factors again that are available. So these 2 common factors, I'm going to bring them down. Okay. 3x squared minus 8, open parentheses. 3x squared times what is 8x times that, same value, just 8x. 3x squared times what? Times positive 7. And then we box our final answer. That's it. Okay? Yes?
Would they ever be different?
Okay, if they are different, then you did the problem wrong or you can't factor it that way. Yeah. That's a good question. Will they ever be different? Yes. If you get different common factors, that means, one, you did the problem wrong, start over. Or it means if you know you did it right because you're confident in yourself and you know you do things well, then you can't really factor it that way. Okay? Good question. Any other questions on numbers 1 or 2? Okay, so today's Friday. Let's have 1s tell the 2s about number 1. All right. Number 3. Let's try a couple of these together, and then I'll release you. So number 3. Let's write it down, and then I want you to discuss with your neighbor what two terms, 2 common things, and 2 common terms that you could identify. Okay. I don't hear you discussing it. Okay, what terms would you regroup?
12 and 4, 21, 7.
Okay, 12 and 4, right? What's the common term in 12 and 4, or common factor?
2,
4. Think of the greatest common factor, not just the smallest, but the greatest. Okay, yep.
Is it always going to be like the first and third?
Not always. In these examples, yeah. Just because I want you to see some commonality. Oh. Okay, so 12 and 4. So we're going to rewrite this 12x cubed. We're doing this one together, by the way. 12x cubed plus 4x. If you go ahead, that's fine. Just make sure you have it the same ones. And then the next one, we're going to add positive 21. X squared plus 7. Okay, what's the first grouping? First grouping. What is the common factor of the first grouping? 4x, right? Okay, 4x times what is 12x cubed? Good, 3x squared. 4x times what is positive 4x? Positive 1. And notice how I said positive 1 because I want to make sure I put that plus sign down, right? Okay, then bring down the next one. What's the common grouping or factor of 21x squared plus 7? Positive or negative 7? Positive 7. Okay, 7 times what is 21x squared? 3x squared, right? Positive 7 times what is positive 7? This is a joke. It keeps booting me. Okay, 3x squared plus 1, right? Okay, what common factor do you see in both of these terms? Good, that whole binomial is a common factor. 3x squared plus 1. Common factor. Okay, times, open parentheses, 3x squared times what is the first term? Times what? 4x, good. 3x squared plus 1 times what is equal to the next term? Positive 7, right? Good. And that's it. We're done. We just factored by grouping. All right? Next one. Number 4. By yourselves. Go. So let's rewrite this. Now, sometimes when you're really good, you can just do this. You don't even have to rewrite it. But we'll just, we won't skip steps. 15p cubed plus 3p. Group those. Add a plus sign. The next one's positive 35p squared minus 7. Okay, we know we're taking out 3p here, which means we got 5p squared plus 1 plus 7 times 5p squared. Is that a plus sign then next to the 7? No, but the original problem is a plus, right? The original problem is a... What just happened here? Alright, sorry about that. I'm going to go... I have to rewrite number 4. Okay, number 4, you got... What did I say? 15p? Shh. Oh my goodness. I'm so angry. Okay. Sometimes technology doesn't work the way we want it to. Okay, so we got 15p cubed plus 3p plus 35p squared. It's getting messy because I'm going quickly here. Put a plus sign here. We got 3p times 5p squared plus 1 plus the next term we wanted to take out was 7 plus 7 times 5p squared plus 1. Okay, 5p squared plus 1 times 3p plus 7. There you go, there's your answer. Raise your hand if you got that correct. Okay, good. Alright, that'll conclude the lesson for today.